Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off this presentation with you today. We'll be exploring an essential principle of effective leadership, how to leverage the efforts of others while ensuring you receive the recognition you deserve. The title of today's talk is Law 7: Get Others to Do the Work for You, but Always Take the Credit. Over the next few slides, we'll cover key strategies for mastering this balance so you can lead more effectively and stand out as a true driving force. Let's get started. When we talk about vision, it's about earning the glory. People remember and celebrate the big ideas and the direction, not just the individual efforts. Leadership, then, is about getting the credit because you're guiding the team toward that vision. Think about it. Public recognition often asks, "Who directed this?" rather than "Who actually executed the task?" It's the leadership role that stands out and gets the acknowledgement. This brings us to what I call the recognition reality. When you lead effectively, you can achieve more in less time because you're leveraging the skills and expertise of others. It's about multiplying your influence exponentially. By empowering others, you're expanding your reach far beyond what you could do alone. Now, contrast that with the power of trying to do everything yourself. If you restrict your reach, your impact is limited. Moving slowly without support not only hampers progress, but can also lead to burnout from overwork. This is the core problem with solo work. Power isn't about doing everything yourself, but about orchestrating, guiding, and taking ownership of the overall outcome. When you focus on leading and coordinating, you maximize your effectiveness and achieve greater results. This is the essence of leverage and leadership. When the work is finished, the public rarely asks who executed it, only who directed it. This isn't theft, it's strategy. If you contribute vision, coordination, and leadership, you deserve the recognition. Translating your vision into reality through capable hands is essential. Allowing others to build what they themselves envision empowers them and leads to greater innovation. Building on what's already been discovered and proven saves time and resources, using existing knowledge rather than reinventing the wheel. Leveraging specialized knowledge you don't possess means borrowing the expertise of others, tapping into skills beyond your own. Assigning tasks to those with the right skills and capacity, delegating, is crucial. People who try to do everything alone tend to burn out, move slowly, and limit their reach. Meanwhile, great leaders, innovators, and strategists multiply their influence by empowering others and focusing on their strengths. That's why multiplying your efforts through strategic delegation and collaboration is so powerful. When we take credit for major outcomes, we're focusing on the bigger picture. It's about understanding that orchestrating a team's success is far more valuable than just executing individual tasks. Building a legacy means creating lasting impact, not just accumulating a portfolio of isolated accomplishments. Now, on the flip side, those who grow powerful often insist on taking credit for small tasks. They tend to refuse delegating because they're worried about losing recognition for their individual contributions. But this approach can backfire. It creates bottlenecks, making it harder to scale impact and ultimately limiting growth. In contrast, those who remain small fall into the trap of insisting on small credit. They prioritize their personal recognition over the team's success, which keeps them from stepping into larger, more impactful roles. So the key takeaway here is that true leadership and growth come from shifting your focus away from individual credit and toward enabling team success. That's how you build a lasting legacy and truly scale your impact. When I think about the solitary inventor's story, what stands out is that even if his creation was slightly better, timing was everything. His invention arrived too late to make the impact it could have. Sadly, he was forgotten, exhausted from the effort, and overshadowed by a competitor who truly understood leverage, the power of teamwork and collaboration. You see, his downfall came from a common mistake, believing that doing everything himself was a virtue. In reality, that mindset is a trap. When he finally presented his invention to potential backers, he discovered that another innovator had already brought a similar device to market, and that was with a team behind him. This other inventor was able to spread the workload across skilled craftsmen, finish his product sooner, and then market it more effectively. As a result, he gained the public acclaim and success that the solitary inventor missed out on. This story highlights a key point. Even the most talented inventor can fall behind if they refuse help or distrust collaboration. Years of perfecting a device in isolation may seem admirable, but in the end, it can hamper progress. So the main takeaway here is that leveraging teamwork and shared effort isn't just about speed. It's about maximizing your potential and ensuring your innovations reach the world. In our overall theme of innovation and growth, this reminds us that success often depends on collaboration, not isolation. And the vision earns the glory. Leaders are the ones who provide that vision, setting the direction and inspiring others to follow. Specialists, on the other hand, bring the necessary skills to turn that vision into reality. Laborers are the hands that do the work, putting effort into every task. Interestingly, the experts, those who possess knowledge and skill, often receive payment and status for their work. But the true legacy, the lasting impact, goes to the minister. He understood that his role was about more than just doing the work himself. He rarely touched a tool. Instead, he gathered the best architects, engineers, and scholars, assigning each a clear role. When these projects succeeded, it was the king and the public who praised him as the mastermind behind it all. A powerful minister in ancient Persia was known for masterminding grand public projects, like bridges, irrigation systems, and monuments. His success was a testament to the importance of vision, organization, and leadership in achieving greatness. So this shows us that true leadership is about orchestrating talent and vision, not just performing the tasks ourselves. It's about creating a legacy that endures through the work of others. Now, let's talk about the keys to power through strategic delegation. First, your role as an orchestrator and visionary is what truly justifies your claim to credit. As a leader, it's essential to own that leadership by guiding the overall strategy and direction. While you set the vision, remember that specialists are best suited to handle the execution details. So, focus on the big picture and let others manage the day-to-day tasks. Next, it's about taking existing concepts and refining them with your unique vision and leadership. Feel free to borrow ideas openly. There's strength in collaboration, but always aim to enhance and improve them with your insight. Finally, matching tasks to the right people is crucial. Understand their strengths and capacity and delegate strategically. By doing this, you empower your team and ensure that the right person is handling the right task, which ultimately drives success. So these are the core principles. Own your leadership, focus on strategy, refine ideas, and delegate wisely. Let's talk about consistently positioning yourself as the architect behind major achievements. This means you want to build a reputation where others see you as the driving force behind success. It's crucial to be recognized as the source of those wins because that's how you establish your influence and authority. Remember, you earned this position through your vision, your ability to coordinate efforts, and your strategic thinking. Don't feel guilty about taking credit for your contributions. It's a necessary part of leadership. At the same time, it's important to pay your team fairly and acknowledge their work. It's about balance. But you also want to ensure they remain dependent on your leadership, which means rewarding contributors just enough. You want to motivate them without giving away too much control or independence. So, the key to building your reputation and gaining power is about consistently demonstrating your role as the leader behind success, earning your credibility through strategic actions, and managing relationships thoughtfully. This approach ties directly into the overall theme of shaping your influence and establishing lasting authority. This division of labor is often misunderstood as exploitation, but in reality, it's the natural structure of successful organizations. Each person gains what they need to thrive. Contributors earn income and recognition, while you, as a leader or founder, gain power and leave a legacy. Now, let's look at what different roles and capabilities contribute to this system. There are diverse capabilities involved: implementation expertise, groundwork, and attention to detail. These are the specialized skills that turn ideas into reality. There's also raw labor and execution, getting things done efficiently and effectively. On the other hand, we have what others provide: public representation, refining ideas, leadership and decision-making, strategic coordination, and most importantly, a clear vision and direction. These are the elements that shape and steer the organization. And what must you provide in return? It's the architecture of power, the structure that aligns all these pieces. This is about creating a framework where each role complements the others, ensuring the organization is cohesive, scalable, and sustainable. So the key takeaway here is that successful organizations depend on this balanced division, each part playing its role, building on each other. And as a leader, your role is to craft this architecture of power, to orchestrate these contributions into a unified, thriving entity. The greatest leaders in history were rarely the most skilled craftspeople. Instead, they were the ones who knew how to orchestrate talent, claim ownership of outcomes, and build legacies that outlast their own efforts. This is really the core idea of Law 7. Multiply your power by expanding your reach through others. Think about it. Let other people handle the raw labor, the skill, and the groundwork. Your role is to stand back and act as the architect behind the final achievement. Your success isn't just about how much you do yourself, but about how much you can accomplish through strategic delegation, vision, and leadership. Power isn't just about individual effort, it's about multiplying that effort through others. That's the real path to power. When you focus on expanding your influence and leveraging the talents of others, you create a ripple effect that can lead to much greater success than you could achieve alone.